back to this channel. In this video, I'm actually going to be analyzing this particular market and show you the trade I took that yielded massive profits for me. And I'm going to be doing this real quick. All right, first out, this is XAU this gold currency pair, as you can see right here. And then this was one of the trade I took. I actually did about two trades. So this is the first trade. Let me do that for you so you see what I mean right here. So this was actually the first trade. You love this place. This was the first trade, and this was the second trade I took for the day, as you can see right here on my monitor screen. So I'm going to be showing you pretty much um what I did that brought about this main taking the trade right in these main zones. As you can see, the trade I took was actually the repull. So these were the two trades I did for today, and this one was running about about 600 pip right there. As you can see, about 600 pip, which was a big one for me right there. So pretty much, let's delve into it now. First off, I did my analysis here, and as you can see right here, I had a symmetric pattern forming around here. For those of you who haven't you know or who don't understand what a symmetric triangular pattern chart pattern looks like, I made a video on it. Just check. You're going to be seeing it in this channel. Do well to watch it because it's going to help your entire trading experience. All right, I did that analysis and I was able to you know get my symmetric pattern, and then I had to wait for price to do all of these things you see it's doing up to this point that it came here. And as you can see, I made this trade happen. I believe this is very clear. So this was how I entered the trade at around this area, because price action had already broken this particular this symmetric um, kind of um, pattern. It had already broken down, coming moving bearish. So this was a nice place to sell as you can see, because the sellers were already stepping into the market, and that was why and how I was able to get this trade. My entry point was here, and boom, down to where you're seeing. As you can see, this is it. So it kept moving down to this point. Now don't mind my chart. There are lots of lines, as you can see, lots of trend lines and lots of zones. These are zones that I have already marked out, expecting price to behave in a certain way when it gets towards those zones. Are we together now? So that was how I was able to catch this, as you can see right here. And then it was actually a big one. This is running over 700 pips, about over 700 and something pips. That was a big one. So that was how I made this trade happen. And this one, the next, what brought about me you know venturing into this trade again, it was a very pretty much very simple analysis I did. It wasn't toxic. Like I always say, keep it pretty much simple, you make much money. But when you make your strategy too um the best, maybe too complicated, or you it will stress you, it will stress you a lot, that's one thing with the forex market. So back to the video now. What I did here that sponsored this pool was, immediately after price um got to this zone, because I was expecting it to react when it gets to this zone. It ended up doing um giving us this form of bias, and all of a sudden it started coming down. So I didn't really trade this. I didn't When price got here, see, I actually traded to this zone, but I didn't really hold the trade that long. I held the trade a little, and I was out of the market. I was expecting a a strong real move, but I didn't see it in this particular one. So I left the market right here. Now Now I came back to my chart and continued my analysis, and I was able to see that at this level, let me remove this so you see very clearly. At this level, at this very level, hang on. Okay, so at this level, price was actually, um, price was actually moving. As you can see, it was giving us, you know, uh, it was giving us lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower, and so on, like that. Lower highs for those of us who understand, trend and market structure and all of that. Yes. So having done all of this, the next thing I had to do was I had to introduce, my trend line, as you can see. And when I introduced my trend line into this particular, chart, I saw that um, price gets to this level and reacts. So each time price gets to this level, it reacts. Each time it gets to this level, it reacts. So we're having two levels here in which prices had already touched. So price had already touched these two levels, as you can see right here. I'm going to be indicating the two levels. Price attached this level. Price attached this level. This is the second touch. Then price came to the third touch. So immediately it did all of this. I was still waiting for the third touch, and immediately it got to the it, gave us that third touch. um it was a nice avenue for us to strike. I just had to wait for change in state of delivery, and which was somewhere around this point, and that was how I was able to enter this trade. As you can see, moving a full, you know um over 600 pips on that, and that was how this was executed. So this is pretty much how today's trade beautifully played out, and it was actually a lovely one. Full, everyone in the group were just cashing out. Everyone was happy, and it was an A+ setup for us, and that was how this trade came to be. Now mind you, you can go and back test all of this strategy that I just gave, but also remember that this is not where it ended. There were some other confluences in which I was able to look out for me to ascertain that yes, it is a nice time to enter the trade, and this particular chart is going to be giving us the real move on the in the market, and that was how we were able to enter. So with this little I've been able to dish out, I believe you could go do one or two back testing and see what it plays out to be for you, and then I'll be seeing you in the next video. Remember, if you're tuning in for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever it is we drop a new video like this to help your entire trading experience. Also remember, if you want to be part of our community, the links are right in the description. You want one-on-one mentorship classes, the links are right there in the description. The way to reach out to us, or you need a PDF in which we've been able to arrange for traders, more especially beginners, intermediate, and so on. Do well to you know and type in the comment section coach, and I'm going to be sending you a link to all of those materials for your benefits. I'll be seeing you in the next video. This very video you're seeing now is going to help you. Do well to watch it. Bye for now.